So welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about biocomputing. What is biocomputing? Computing, all of you know, for computers we need to have a computation, and computer works based on the linear algebra and as well as laws of classical physics. So nowadays we are having quantum computers which works again based on the Boolean algebra, but instead of classical physics, here it will be advanced physics, or we call it as a quantum mechanics. Based on quantum mechanics, if it is working, so we are calling it as a quantum computers, or more than the beyond the supercomputers. Okay, so let's come back to the biocomputing. So biocomputing is it refers in the computation only. If you are using any biological molecules, then you can call it as a biocomputing. This is a very simple definition. Now, what are these biomolecules? It can be the cells, enzymes, DNA. For what applications you are using? For computing and information processing. Okay, so this field combines both the principles of computer science and biology. Okay, so along with this computer science and biology, there is one more field which will combine these two, that is engineering. Okay, so we are having computer science, biology and engineering. So these three fields we are combining and using to create a novel system. That means you are bringing out the new systems for what purpose? For the computing and data storage applications. Okay, understand? So that is what is called as a biocomputing. Those are the definitions of the biocomputing. Now, the technological importance of the biocomputing, it lies in its potential. Okay, it has got a great potential to provide very new and very innovative solutions for the computing and information processing applications. So let's see, here are some of the key ways in which the biocomputing can be impact the current technology. First and foremost thing is computational power. Biocomputing systems have a potential to provide a new level of computation power. That means that it can increase by 10x. Okay, imagine the computation power can increase by 10x. Okay, 5 to 10x. So as they can perform complex tasks and calculations using biological processes, because inside our body, whatever there are thousands to millions of pathways are going on inside our body. Now these enzymes, these cells are able to catch that, and inside our brain, you know that how many billions of tasks can happen within a second. Computers are not even close to 10% of brain. Forget about 10, even 1% of brain. Understanding? So many tasks we are getting. So those biological molecules can perform more complex structural tasks within a given time. So that was about computational power. To increase the computational power, we can use the biological molecules, so that our biocomputing systems. Next, data storage. So here, you know that DNA, our DNA is, we are what? We are the result of billions of years, right? From the most of the believe that from Adam and Eve, that was the first. Those were the first humans. From this, and some believe that evolution, whatever it may be, even the evolution, if the smaller, there is something called as minimum cell quantity. That's minimum cell quantity is nothing but what? DNA should be there, so that without DNA you can't just evolve. So that DNA from the beginning of the human being to so far today, okay, we have come almost millions of generations. Now these millions of generations, we are carrying millions of tasks. One person can do many tasks, and our brain is doing different tasks, our heart is doing different tasks, our kidney is doing different tasks. Okay, all these parts are doing their different tasks, and these all tasks are managed by single DNA, and we got it from single DNA. Imagine. So there are billions of people on Earth nowadays, right? They are doing their tasks without being charged. If you want to use a computer, you need to charge, right? But if you want to use your brain, you don't have to charge. You just have to eat. Understanding? So that's, imagine the amount of data it is storage. DNA is nothing but what? It is a data storage actually. So for example, when you get when the parent gives a particular when parent gets a baby, that means he is a result of a parent. That means when it is a result of a single sperm and egg, right? And then the process will start. Okay, so this particular son will have the characters of parents, right or wrong? So this is again, these characters are again or copied from that one single DNA. Now that one single DNA will become one human being, and one human being will are having many organs, many cells, millions of neurons, right? Understanding that means so much energy. What you say? In this particular DNA has got instruction to form everything inside our body. Eyes, and how the eyes should look like, how the hair should look like, how the person should be tall or small, okay, how our organs should develop. Every information is stored in a single piece of DNA. Understanding? So now if you are using this particular DNA for the storage, obviously imagine how it will be. It's going to be helpful. Okay, so here one of the analogies given by computing systems can be used to store and process large amount of data. For example, a DNA has a high information density, that is nothing but consider that a single gram of DNA that can theoretically store 215 petabytes, that is nothing but 1 petabyte is nothing but 1 million gigabytes. Imagine. So in that almost 215 petabytes, 1 petabyte itself is nothing but 1 million gigabytes of data. So the DNA and 1 milligram of DNA, not whole DNA, 1 milligram of DNA will be having 215 petabytes, and 1 petabyte is equal to how much? Theoretically millions, 1 million of gigabytes, okay, of data. So that can be easily synthesized and can be amplified. So that means data storage is the best quality that DNA has ever got. Okay, and then medical applications. So medical applications, we are having the biocomputing system that can be used to develop new diagnostic tools and therapeutic approaches in medicine, such as biosensors and gene therapies. For example, biocomputing systems is nothing but again based on the biological basis. This thing. Now, what do you mean by to develop new diagnosis in medical field? There is only two things: diagnosis, therapeutic. Diagnosis in the sense to detect the disease. Therapeutic approach in the sense to treat the disease. Now, 90% in the medical field is effort is given to the diagnosis. Why? Because if the diagnosis is done, if you can able to understand what is the disease, then the pharmacist already have told you that for this disease, this is the drug. Biotechnologists have prepared it, pharmacists are selling it, and you know that as a doctor, you know that what is the this thing. Now, what is the job of doctor? To identify what disease it is. That involves diagnosis. Maximum 90%. 10% is a treatment, that is therapeutic approaches. Diagnosis is nothing but what? To detect disease. To therapeutics is nothing but what? To treat the disease. So biocomputing systems can be used to develop a new diagnostic, that means any new diagnosis, so that we can have a better understanding of the disease in a short period of time, so that doctors can say that okay, this person is having first stage of cancer, take him and start him treating. Okay, like that. So these kind of new diagnostic techniques we can develop, and therapeutic approaches in medicines, okay, for the drug delivery or drug designing applications such as biosensor and gene therapies, etc. Next, environmental monitoring. Biocomputing systems can also be used to monitor and track environmental conditions such as air, water quality in real time. Okay. Next, energy efficiency. So biocomputing systems are energy efficient. That means which is becoming increasingly very important. Nowadays everything requires energy. So since you are using the bio molecules here, it doesn't require much energy, right? So we can conserve, we can reduce the energy demand. Okay, so becoming increasingly very important to face the challenges to face the climate change and the need to reduce our energy consumption. So for these applications, energy efficiency is very well in biocomputing systems, so that we can reduce the energy dependency. Next, robustness. Since the biocomputing systems are highly robust, that means highly speed, as they are less susceptible to the errors and failures compared to the traditional electronic devices or systems. Versatility. Since these particular biocomputing systems that can be programmed and reprogrammed, I can program it and reprogram it to perform different tasks, various tasks, which make them highly versatile and adaptable. Okay, they can use it for many applications. Advantages: biocompatibility. I've already discussed biocompatibility in the sense it should be very it should not form any harm to the body. It's the similar way. So here these biocomputing systems are made up of biological components, so which biocompatible and less likely to cause any immune responses compared to the traditional electronic devices. Next, energy efficiency, that we discussed the same point, you can copy paste here. Scalability, so biocomputing systems can be easily scaled up and down, or that means if you want to scale large scale, you can have here. So as they are based on the biological processes that can be repeated and multiplied within a short period of time. Next, robustness, they are highly speed, again copy paste from the technological point. Flexibility, so since biocomputing systems can be programmed and reprogrammed to perform different tasks, it is flexible. That means versatility, what we discussed in the previous slide, just copy paste. So a lot, most of the technological importance are the advantages. Okay. Next, limitations, speed. So here biocomputing systems are generally slower than the traditional electronic computers, as they rely on the biological process that occur in the over time. So biological process, what happens, it requires little bit time for the processes to perform. That's why it is speed is less. Robustness is there, but speed is less. So complexity. So biocomputing systems can be complex and challenging to design and build. Why? Because it is involved in the biological things that need to be maintained, monitored properly. So requiring specialized knowledge and expertise is very important. That's why it is complexity is one of the limitation. Next, reliability. So biocomputing systems can be unreliable as of now. Why? Because they are subject to the fluctuations and errors inherent in biological systems. Okay, there might be if any damages are there in the cells what you are using, then it might give you the inherent errors. Understanding. Next, cost. Biocomputing systems can be expensive to produce, as they require specialized materials and equipment, so that we can keep the cells and the things which is alive, and then they have to go under the different biological process to give you the signals, so that can be used for biocomputing. So that's it. The next topic is bioimaging for disease diagnosis, that we will discuss in the next class.